So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you the finished fuzzy selvage material, which turned out just like I imagined, and I'm so stoked. And then afterwards, if you want to stick around, I have assembled a couple of tips and tricks for how to make it. But without further ado, so here they are. This is the first one I made in the multicolor rainbow. This is the second color I made with black and white selvages. And you can really see, if I go close up, you can see there's long, stringy selvage. There's short, fluffy selvage. There's all different textures of selvage. And when you put them all together, they make such an interesting fabric. And the third one I made was this green one. And I love it. And you guys, I've got at least 3 more colors that I can make, that I'm going to make. And if you'd like to see those, comment, and I will make a third video and show you those. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things I figured out while making it so that you don't have to figure those out yourself. First of all, you're going to want a piece of just throwaway cotton, a little thin base fabric for the whole shebang. Cut it out in the size you want to cover. Make it smaller than you think, because you need a whole lot of selvage and a whole lot of time to make a very small piece. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your fuzzy selvage and you're going to get a piece that you like, and you're going to get yourself some of this glue. It's basting glue, and it has this really cool skinny top where you can just put out one tiny drop at a time, and you literally just need 2 or 3 little tiny drops right on the back, and you're going to put it down on top, and you're going to put the bottom of the fuzzy part just overlapping the top of the fuzzy part on the row underneath. Or on the first row, you're going to have your fuzzy edge hanging off the edge of your fabric by just a tiny little bit so that it doesn't show. You don't want the background fabric showing at all by the time you're done. That is the base, not part of the textile. And when you get it where it needs to be, do that all the way across your piece. And then you just take it over to your sewing machine and you sew the non-fuzzy part. Just sew. And you only have to do that really every 2 rows, because usually the fabric overlaps enough that you can catch 2 rows at once. Now you can go ahead and do it every row if you're paranoid, but I found that it's very sturdy and works fine doing it every second row. The other tip that's really important is to stagger. If you're using smaller pieces like this, and you're going across 6 inches with 3 or 4 little pieces, your next row, you want to stagger them so the seam don't line up. You don't want a stack like that. You want it like that, because if you line them up, you're going to see vertical rows. And if that's what you want, fine. But if you want a piece of textile like what I'm making, you don't want it to look like vertical rows glued together. You want it to look like one solid piece of textile. So when you stagger it, it emulsifies the whole thing together so that it's one piece. And then that's really all there is to it. Last thing I should say is get yourself one of these little metal eyelash brushes, because they are great for combing out unruly selvage. And when you're done your piece, you can just comb it down with this little brush, and it will take out any random pieces. It'll show you if there's a place you need to trim up, and it'll just get all the little fuzzies lying in the right direction so it looks its absolute best. And that's all there is to it. Now, you're not going to make a big piece. It takes way too much selvage and way too much time. But you can make something special that you can use on a special project. And it takes a long time. I'm not lying. I've been spending hours on this. I've been spending all day on these 3 little pieces. I was able to use what everybody just throws in the garbage to make something very cool that I can use and give a new life to. Something that people thought was garbage, and making something usable and beautiful. So I encourage you to experiment, because it's fun. And sometimes it works out just like you imagined.